Hello, everybody, and welcome to Forever Rugby on Forever Sports. For today's preview, as the Ospreys host the Bulls, and it's a pretty stacked Ospreys side. A lot of players that the South Africans will now have even more of a sort of vested interest in seeing how they play on the back of the Welsh squad for the Springbok tour, which was announced yesterday, and plenty of those players selected in that squad are going to be involved in this clash. So it should be quite a nice sort of early look in. For the Bulls, it's a very big and important clash for them. The Ospreys currently sitting in ninth place. They cannot make the top eight. So very much playing for pride, really. But I suppose to try and top the Welsh conference. So there is actually a certain amount of them to play for, having said that. But for the Bulls, they currently sit 3 points off the top four, which would be a home semi-final. A home quarterfinal, rather. They cannot lose their spot in the top eight. So they've got a spot in the playoff is guaranteed. The question is where will they line up. Now, Ulster taking on the Sharks, which is an opportunity for them, because if Ulster were to win, that puts them on 59 or 60 points. And if Sharks were to pick up two losing bonus points, for example, then suddenly they'll be away. And then it'll come down to whether they can reel in the Stormers. But if the Sharks were to beat Ulster and Ulster don't pick up a point, we even pick up 1 point, for example, then a bonus point victory by the Bulls would be enough to put them into or to take Ulster. The issue is then obviously what happens with the Stormers. Now the Bulls, they don't really have their fate in their own hand, because the top four, there are three teams on 56 points. So if Munster were to win, Sharks were to win, Stormers were to win, Bulls would miss out on the top four. But if any of those teams lose, then suddenly there's an opportunity, and then they kind of need Munster or Stormers to lose, because if it Ulster beat Sharks and the Sharks get bonus points, stuff like that, it could still lead them outside the top four. So an ideal situation, you probably think, is to see the Stormers lose and not pick up a bonus point at all, and then the Bulls would be able to sort of jump into that top four position. They also need Ulster to lose as well. So yeah, I think the Bulls at this stage will have to go out and get a bonus point, and then hope the right results then happen for them to be able to sort of sneak into that home quarterfinal. Whether we do see it we'll have to wait and see. But in terms of the two sides that will be taking on to the field, this is the Ospreys 15. And Alan Wynne-Jones, Adam Beard are the two big names which really sort of stand out there in terms of, British and Irish Lions players up against Rowan O'Keefe, Yankees Swanepoel. I think that should be a very cool combination, stuff like that. So if we look at the side, just littered with Welsh international players. The front row of Gareth Thomas, Dewey Lake, and Thomas Francis, we're going to see a lot more of them in the coming months, as we will with Adam Beard and Alan Wynne-Jones. So it's a very experienced tight five, where there's not as much experience, there's a young up-and-coming class. Will Griffiths, Jack Morgan, and Morgan Morris. Now, Jack Morgan's an interesting player because he was actually left out of the Welsh squad that was announced yesterday, and it's been quite a contentious omission from the squad. So he'll definitely be out to try and prove a point, you'd imagine. Very much a form player across Wales at the moment. Reece Webb captains the side. He's got Gareth Anscombe next to him, who is also in the Welsh squad. Keelan Giles, Luke Morgan, the two speedsters, Michael Collins at fullback, and then very interesting to see how Owen Watkin and George North go in the centres. George North still sort of coming back to his best. He has been named in the Welsh squad, so he will be on a plane to South Africa. He's a massive player for Wales, as well as, of course, Ospreys. Now, on the bench, Sam Parry, Nicky Smith, Tom Buerta. Then you've got Bradley Davis, Dan Lydiot, Harry Morgan, Stephen Myler, and Matt Prothero, who will all be coming on later on in the game. In terms of the team that they'll be taking on, this is how the Bulls will line up. It's a pretty settled Bulls side. Chaos Steenekamp, Johanna Kovala, and Mornay Smith in the front row. While Steenekamp, Bruin Nokia, they'll have the duty of taking on the likes of Adam Beard and Alan Wynne-Jones. The loose trio of Kyle Brink, Ulrich Lowe, and Zach Berger. It's become quite a settled one. Kyle Brink is very much slotted in there quite easily. And then Marcel could see captaining the side. Zach Berger partners Chris Smith in the halfback combination, and Rose appear down on the bench. Then Madosh Tumwe, David Creel, Kanan Moody are the back three. Kanan Moody should be quite an interesting test for him, because he's very much new to playing overseas and to playing in these sort of games. Is the youngster David Creel getting a recall after the back of a very impressive Currie Cup performance. Harold Forster, Cornel Hendricks, the two centres there. And then off the bench, quite a young bench. The likes of Jan Hendrik Wessels, Superior Mountain Zima, Robert Hunt. There's not too much experience in there, but especially something like Superior Mountain Zima, who's just growing in leaps and bounds the more he plays. And Yankees Swanepoel, Arno Buerta, the two additional forward replacements. Bruce Appear, Joan Mostert, the young flower, gets another opportunity, and then Stedman Hunt. So quite a young bench, for the Bulls. I think especially when it comes to this sort of stage of the season, so good for these players to get the sort of opportunity to play in these conditions, to play in this sort of situation, to play overseas and stuff like that, because there's going to be something they're going to be doing a lot more in the years to come. It's a good Bull side. It's a very good Bull Osprey side. In fact, at home, you probably have to back the Ospreys in terms of the star quality they've got. Not to say this Bulls doesn't have star quality, but I think that back three, I think Josh Tumway's going to have to step up. David Creel, Kane and Moody will be interesting to see how they go. Interesting, in fact, that they've gone with Kane and Moody at full back and David Creel on the wing itself. That's quite an interesting selection. But Jake White always does have a plan, so I'm sure you'll have a plan for tomorrow. Let me know what your score predictions are down in the comments below. Please do smash a like on the video and subscribe to the channel as well. We haven't made a decision whether we're going to be going live with this game or the Sharks game, so keep an eye on the channel, and that will be scheduled very soon. Thank you very much, and we'll see you guys all next time.